Okay, new setup. Yeah, so I'm using my AirPods Max, which has a built-in microphone. Usually I'm using my iPhone or my laptop. Um, Hopefully the quality is better this way. So, Oshi, what? Oshi Pod. So what is Oshi Pod? I think I started this podcast without really having any kind of theme or any kind of a goal in mind. It's just a way for me to express my thoughts about what's going on in the community, what's happening with Japanese dramas, of course, in Japanese music, J-pop, etc., with idol groups, even though I'm not familiar with many of them these days. And yeah, just everything related to that and learning Japanese, fan subbing, all of that good stuff. We call it in this fandom. Yeah, so my goal is just to share my ideas, my thoughts, everything about that. I felt bad because we haven't resumed drama club. Um, it's very hard to coordinate, schedules and have that all aligned. So not only do you have to book a time and see when everyone's available to record, but you also have to think about, okay, you have to, everyone has to watch the same drama in a relatively similar period so your thoughts are fresh. So that is, that it's very hard. Hopefully we'll get back on track again. I think I'll restart watching GTO. I think I finished episode 4. Uh, yeah, so I think I'll resume. Yeah, in J-drama news, I binge watched, what is the name? Ayahiro? So that's the nickname of it, but it's like Ayaka, it's the new GL drama. Ayaka loves Hiroko-sempai. So, Ayaka-chan wa Hiroko-sempai ni Koishiteru is the name of the drama. It's based off of a manga, and from what I can tell, the manga artist and creator, she both drew and wrote the manga, and I think she is not Japanese fully, because her name is it's Sao Jiang. I think it sounds Korean to me. Not Korean, I'm sorry. A Chinese name. I've never looked her up, but it's very, I think it's very cool that she somehow, broke into the manga industry and, was able to produce this manga. And then now it's a drama. So I binge watched that. I think I watched the first 2 or 3 episodes sporadically. And then when it finished airing just last week, I had some time this weekend to watch it. So I binged like the rest of it, like all in one sitting. And yeah, so I also we have this feature on Drama-Otaku where it's the episodes tab. And on this tab, you have like a lot of information specifically for each episode. So you'll have the title of the episode, you have the date when it aired, the total time the duration of that episode. Uh, you'll have a synopsis area if you have that available. You can also add images, screenshots from the actual um, episode itself. And I spent, yeah, so since I was watching it, after I finished each episode, I would go into this tab on the page and just fill it out. So maybe, it might be helpful for some people to, go through that and read it and see what happened in each episode. Yeah, that was fun. Like, I'm not a writer, but I want to be. So this helped with that a bit. Um, Something different from what I usually do on the site. Yeah, so check it out if you can. But this drama, it's very cute. It's on Fuji TV. Um, and I think it may be the first GL that they've produced, I think. But then it airs like late at night as usual. It airs like at 1 a.m., which is crazy. Um, it's like, I feel like it's so, this area, like GL and BL, is so like forbidden or something. So they have to like, they can only air it like late at night, when like everyone is sleeping. It's kind of sad. I hope one day they can, move it up to a better time slot. Um, but maybe that doesn't really matter these days because people are not, watching it on TV or they're not watching it live. So maybe in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter as much. But yeah, so I'll read you the synopsis. But so the main character, Ayaka, is in love with Hiroko-sempai, who she works with at the same workplace. She makes her feelings for her known every day, but she doesn't pay her any attention. On the other hand, Hiroko-senpai, who everyone admires, is actually quite a womanizer and is constantly excited by Ayaka's active appeal. The misunderstanding between the two who think each other are straight leads to further misunderstandings. So yeah, that's pretty much the story in a nutshell. It's this constant back and forth of Ayaka hitting on Hiroko senpai. But Ayaka, I don't think she's like a lesbian. I don't even think she's bisexual. She just has some connection with Hiroko senpai. And and Hiroko is definitely a lesbian. She throughout high school and her adult life, she's only dated women, and I think you see that in the first or second episode. So the series is very short. It's 8 episodes long and only I think it's 20 to 24 minutes per episode. So you can pretty much binge it in one day if you wanted. Um, but yeah, so they go back and forth. Like Ayaka doesn't really care if Hiroko is female. Um, it's like that's not even in her mind. But Hiroko, she's more in tune with like what other people think about the situation, and she's embarrassed. So she's in the closet. She's no one at work knows that she's a lesbian. And but yeah, throughout the series, it's just back and forth of like Ayaka flirting with Hiroko, and Hiroko kind of just brushing it off or avoiding it because she doesn't want to get into this relationship because also she's like the manager and then Ayaka is like underneath, she's her employee, so she's like lower ranking. Um, so there's that kind of work uh, aspect that's involved. But yes, there's this constant back and forth, and eventually they come to terms with it. And I won't give it away. You go ahead and you guys watch it too. It's on Drama-Otaku. But yeah, I thought it was a cute, quick storyline. It touched on some elements of like, coming out and just, wanting to show, not caring about what society thinks, about who you love, and just not be proud of it, but just not caring and just living your life how you want it, and that's the one thing about Ayaka, which is very refreshing to see. Yeah, but you guys should watch. Um, what else did I want to talk about? Um, oh, let's talk about my Japanese studies. So I finished my last, not in person, it's hybrid class for Japanese. And I meet with a live teacher and there's students. And they're sometimes in the room and there's some remote. So it's usually like 2 or 3 people that are remote on a Zoom call. And then we see the teacher and the whiteboard behind her. And she'll teach us for about an hour and a half every Saturday. And it was 7 classes total. So 7 classes total I took, and it was fun. I got to practice speaking Japanese, reading, um, writing not so much, but like whenever the teacher put slides up on the screen, I would take notes in Japanese. So I would write down the examples down so I could practice Japanese writing. That included some kanji too. And the class was lower than where they placed me at, but they didn't have a level 7. So they recommended I take level 6 first just to kind of brush up. And yeah, they taught me grammar. Uh, most of it I already knew, but it helps to kind of like cement the idea, So grammar, some kanji, all of the kanji I already knew. There was not a lot of kanji. And for tests, it was mainly a verbal test. So she would start off the class with her slides, and then she'll go around the room and she'll ask us how to read a sentence that has some kanji in it, or it has some piece of grammar that we had worked on previously. So yeah, it was fun. And then she would correct us. We'd do a lot of drills with each other. She would, sit in and help us. Um, I think the hardest thing was kind of figuring out what to do. Sometimes the examples, I wasn't sure like what she wanted us to do, so she would call on me, and then I'm like, "What do you want? I don't know what's going on here." But it's not like I'm not paying attention. It's just she doesn't really explain like what I need to do, and it's hard because she'll ask like the people in the class um, like to read off the examples, and I can't really hear them, so I don't know what the example even is. Um, but other than that, I enjoyed just the speaking part of it and the drilling, and it kind of keeps me accountable because I have to show up every week and do homework. Um, but the homework was mainly just reviewing the content. I think there was one time where she asked for the written homework and I emailed it to her. Um, yeah, so it was pretty fun. So that was my last class yesterday, or on Saturday. After that, there's a new, they call it a new cohort. Can't say this word, but that is starting in mid-September, so level 7. So I've already enrolled. That'll be 7 classes, same time slot. Uh, yeah, so I think we finished Genki 1, but she wants us to still go through it. I don't know. Um, but I bought, so level 7 should start on Genki 2, the Genki 2 book now. And I guess you just go through the whole series and then it's done. And then you can take more classes if you want. So uh, she sent us an email and she said I was a very good student. So I'm surprised by that. Um, and I've decided to take the JLPT N2. A little bit scared because like all the kanji and vocab. Grammar is like whatever, but yeah, it's the kanji and vocab. And reading is like, oh, when you have kanji there, like you don't know what you're reading. You can kind of guess. So there's a technique that um, there's these graded, I don't know what you call it, graded readers for Japanese. And there's a site for it, I think. Let's see. Is it Tadoku? Yeah, maybe Tadoku. So they have like different levels and they have free books there. And so their whole thing is that uh, their philosophy for reading. Let me open up one of them here so we can see. Um, so their philosophy is you start from scratch. So their golden rules, as they call it, the 4 golden rules, is start from scratch, don't use a dictionary, and skip over difficult words, phrases, and passages. When the going gets tough, quit the book and pick up another. I don't know. This seems very hard, but I've done this, so it's doable. Um, yeah, so I think I will concentrate on reading. I There is some recommendations. I heard there's a Mainichi Japan Daily News. So they have news in Japanese and English. So if you like, there's this one called "Why Has Japan Been Hit with Rice Shortages?" So that's one for today. And if you click on that, there's a link for Japanese. There's a link on the top, right? Oh, it doesn't know. It just refreshes the whole page. But every article supposedly has a Japanese and English equivalent. Damn it. Okay. Where did it go? let's, I guess, read this news one about the typhoon. Um, if you read this on the web, you won't be prompted to pay. Um, I think on mobile it hides part of the article, so you can't really read it. So I may try this method. Then you can turn on like Igai-chan or Rikai-kun, those extensions to hover over kanji, and that will help you as well. There's also Ten Reader. Yeah, so yeah, I bought some JLPT books to prep, and that'll come, I don't know, in a week. So my goals are mainly to practice reading and kanji, and then vocab. So vocab goes with kanji, obviously. Um, so there's that. And then I'm planning to take the N2 maybe next summer. So that gives me about a year. I don't know if I can do it though, but yeah, I have to come up with some schedule and see how much I can read. I want to read every day. Um, so let's see how it goes. Yeah, so that's all that's happening with me nowadays. And Chaser Game W, they keep releasing new content on their social media accounts. So we're getting a lot of Itsufuyu content to stare at. Also, Yurika, she has a new single that's coming out. Um, I think it's coming out in September, I think too. Maybe it'll be included in the Chaser Game W Season 2 drama. I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? Yeah, so that's it. I'll talk to you guys another time. Bye.